So ByteDance Seedance 2.0 is taking over the internet right now, and in today's video I'll show you how you can actually access this model and the very best prompting techniques to use this. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is to click the link in the description. This will basically take you to ByteDance's Playground Arena. This is where you can easily access the model. Now, of course, you're going to need to sign in, but if you haven't made an account, just click the sign up now button, and this is where you'll be prompted to sign up for BytePlus. For most of you individuals, it's probably much easier to continue with a Google account as you already have a Google account. Just remember you want to have a phone number ready, as that's what they do require. So we're going to go through the sign-in process now. So during the sign-in process, you can see that you'll need to add an account profile. So this will be your organization name, your full name, your country, your address, and your postal code. Now, all of these details don't really matter that much. The most important thing is that your phone number is a real phone number, because you will have to verify this to make your account. So just make sure that once you're entering the details, you actually enter your phone number. And then once you enter your phone number and you get the code, make sure that you then enter that code. Now, once that account is made, you should have been able to get to the login area. And this is where the next step commences. So once you're logged in, instead of going to the chat area, make sure that you're clicked onto the media area. Then from the drop-down menu, make sure that you've clicked on the ByteDance Seed Point 2. Now in the drop-down menu, you'll see multiple different models, but as long as you're signed in correctly, you should have the ByteDance Seedance 2.0, which says experience only. Now, what you can see here is that you do have the model, which is an experience, meaning that this isn't the final version. Of course, that might be subject to change. Another thing to note as well is that they do give you 5 million free tokens, but those tokens do get used quite a bit depending on the resolution of your video and of course the output. Now, the status here is not activated, so I wouldn't be able to access this. Let's go to this part where you need to activate this. So if you go to activate, then for me, I only want to activate ByteDance Seedance 2.0. So I'm going to click confirm and authorization. Then what I'm going to do is complete the payment details. So I'm going to go complete. Then I'm going to, of course, add my account profile, which is here. So here, of course, you just enter your details, which is what I'm going to do now. Then, of course, now that that is done, we're going to just add a payment method. So I'm going to add my card. And so now that that is all done, I should be able to get the video done. So you can see right here, once that is all done, now we can see that the video has started processing. So once you've added your card, that is when things will actually get there. Now, another way that you can actually access Seedance 2.0 is it's actually available in ChatCut. Now, the only problem with ChatCut is that you do have to get an invite code to use this. So I only have 3 invite codes, so I'm not going to be able to put them in this video because they'd probably disappear pretty instantly. So I'm going to be putting them in my AI Academy. This is basically my small community where you can literally stay ahead of 99% of people in AI in just 10 minutes a day. The only reason I'm putting it here is so that, you know, like I said, this is a community where I'm going to be sharing exclusive stuff, temps, templates, you know, early access to AI tools. This is literally my community. So I literally just built this thing. It has literally all the agents, all the templates. Like if you go to agents, there's a bunch of stuff. If you go to prompts, there's a bunch of stuff. If you go to lessons, there's a bunch of stuff on starting different AI businesses. The reason I started this is because I think most people realize that AI is moving so fast that if you have something like this, where it's an AI Academy where you can literally just 10 minutes a day for $10 a month, you just hop in and you're able to get up to date. Something like this is just remarkably useful. So for me, I'm going to be leaving my invite codes in there. And if that doesn't work, I guess we'll just have to wait for the API. And if you're wondering how long your generations will take to do in ChatCut, they take quite some time. So you can see here that I've asked for a video about Iron Man versus Thanos, and this is not the kind of way you run the prompt model. I know that you should do some really good stuff, but I just wanted to see what the base level prompting is. And you can see that it says this will take approximately 15 to 20 minutes to complete. So understand that when you're using this platform, it's not that fast at the moment because there is an absurd demand for this model right now. Now, one of the key things that I found in terms of prompting that was by Patrick Castle was the fact that Seedream actually has camera movements that can be applied to a single image. So in this example, and I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can see this as well, there is the prompt that says refer to the camera movements and scene transitions to the rhythm of video 1 and to the red supercar in the image 1 for replication. Now, I don't think you're able to do this on ChatCut, but if you do actually have access to the current Seedream, you can essentially transform that motion onto an entire single image. And this is extraordinarily powerful because it allows you to take one piece of footage and convert it to something completely else. So if you are wondering, do I have to describe a specific piece of motion? No, you don't. That's the power of Seedream. There are numerous examples of this in the software where you can literally take, I guess you could say, a bunch of different images. You could take a video to a video, you could take an image and use the motion, and then it's able to do that really well. Now remember, this model, Seedream, it doesn't require so much extensive prompting, but one thing that the guides that I'm reading have said is that it's best to use 1 to 2 character images maximum for the best consistency. And those videos where you're seeing multiple different crazy characters act and do all of those crazy scenes, it's best to literally just use 1 to 2 characters from your images, because I think that the more images you use, considering it's not like Nano Banana Pro where you can have 14 different subjects, the AI may get a little bit more confused and the consistency may degrade. So if you're going to do a video where you're using 2 AI images, maybe 2 characters that are fighting, definitely only use, 1 to 2 characters. Or what I would suggest is that if the AI model does have a knowledge base, like an internal knowledge base of who the character is. For example, you may have already seen on Twitter people and individuals doing the Thanos fight scenes, the Infinity War fight scenes, the, Captain America versus Spider-Man fight scenes. Those videos are, okay, and they have stability because the AI already recognizes who those characters are. So if you want to ensure that your character gets continually recognized, make sure that you only use 1 to 2 images, or else things may get confused. Now, another thing that you should do as well is, if you're using a duration, then the prompt is to state that duration explicitly. So if you're going to say a woman walks for 3 seconds, stops, then turns for 2 seconds, okay? So that is another thing that you do want. And another thing that I do want to say is that when I was actually looking at this model for the various different use cases, I've realized that this model is essentially the model that does it all. I know that sounds pretty cliche, but it couldn't be closer to the truth. This is the model that basically does everything. The video you're seeing is essentially a motion graphics video that was done with a single text prompt and a single image prompt. And I'm sure the prompt on this was very, very detailed, but the point I'm trying to make here is that there isn't a single thing that the model seemingly struggles with. Every prior model has had some sort of bottleneck where we could clearly tell that the footage was AI generated. The only things I can say about this example is that potentially there are some cases where the text and of course the numbers do get slightly, blurry or a little bit weird, but I don't think that is a cause for concern considering how much time, money and effort you are saving. Typical motion graphics projects do cost maybe between, $600 at the really low end and, maybe upwards of $4,000, $3,000 on the really, really high end. So you have to understand that the incentive is there for people to use this technology. And of course, I'm not happy that this is going to take people's careers, but we do have to start to ask the question, when these models are so good, is Hollywood going to be paying attention to this? I know I'm certainly going to be paying attention to this. I'm going to be playing around a lot with this. And of course, if I do find any more tools and tutorials and stuff like this and really specific workflows, I'll leave those in my community. And of course, I'll make videos on what I can. So if you guys enjoyed the video, I'll see you on the next one.